how AI could devastate the global economy. A report sparks shockwaves. Imagine this: you arrive at the office in the morning. Your ID card still works. Your chair is in the same place. The computer is on. But a notification flashes on the screen. Your role has been transitioned to an AI agent. At first, you think it's a joke. Then an email from HR arrives. And that's when you realize your position hasn't been taken by a human, but by an algorithm. This is where the story begins. The fear is AI just taking jobs, or could it shake the very foundation of the entire economy? And the curiosity is, are we really moving towards some kind of 2028 crisis that we don't yet fully understand? Citrini Research's report, the 2028 Global Intelligence Crisis, has created a stir by placing this very question at the center. The author, Alap Shah, calls it not a prediction but a thought exercise. But this thought exercise is presented with such detail and data that policymakers, investors, and corporate leaders around the world have begun debating it intensely. The report claims that in 2026, AI capabilities saw a step function jump, a leap that moved AI beyond being just a supportive tool to becoming a direct substitute for human intelligence. Agentic AI, which many consider a step toward AGI, is no longer limited to drafting emails or writing code. It can handle decision-making, strategy planning, legal drafting, financial modeling, and even research analysis. These are the very jobs that were once considered the domain of the most skilled and educated professionals. For the first time, the threat is not hovering over blue-collar workers, but over the white-collar class. The report presents a hypothetical timeline from 2026 to 2028, outlining possible developments. Large tech companies adopt AI agents to improve corporate margins. HR departments begin quiet layoffs. Productivity rises, profit margins increase, and the stock market rallies. Investors are happy, but behind this shine, a silent crack begins to form. The employment base starts shrinking. The report's most important concept is the AI-driven economic feedback loop. It's crucial to understand this. When AI increases productivity, companies earn more profit. Seeing those profits, other companies adopt AI as well. Adoption rises, automation accelerates, and the need for human labor declines. Due to job losses, people reduce spending. Demand falls. As demand falls, companies adopt even more AI to protect margins. And the cycle repeats itself. The report calls this a loop with no natural break. A cycle that seems to have no built-in stopping mechanism. This is where the concept of ghost GDP emerges. GDP numbers rise. Corporate earnings look strong. Stock indices remain high. But the average consumer's pocket grows emptier. Growth happens. But its benefits do not reach a large part of society. It becomes an economy where there is production and profit, but weak purchasing power. The report highlights a striking figure. In the United States, the top 20% of earners account for nearly 65% of total consumer spending. This group largely consists of white-collar professionals. If AI affects them, the demand shock could be deep. The report says that even a 2% decline in white-collar employment could deliver a 3 to 4% shock to global GDP. Initially, the impact may appear slow due to savings buffers, but when it hits, it could be severe. In the hypothetical scenario, unemployment could cross 10% by 2028. There is mention of a possible 57% drop in the S&P 500. It echoes memories of the 2008 financial crisis when the housing bubble burst. The only difference is that this time the trigger may not be mortgages, but machine intelligence. The SaaS industry could feel the impact differently. If agentic AI can develop software itself, why would companies renew expensive subscriptions? SaaS valuations could fall. The annual recurring revenue-based business model could weaken. Citing examples like Zendesk, the report suggests that when AI renders a business model obsolete, ARR-based loan structures can also destabilize. The shock could then reach the private credit market. Private credit funds have issued loans to SaaS companies based on ARR. If revenue streams suddenly weaken, the risk of loan defaults increases. The impact could spread to insurance companies, hedge funds, and pension funds. The report warns of a daisy chain of correlated bets, a domino effect where the decline of one sector shakes the entire financial system. Governments do not appear fully prepared for this shift. Tax collection is largely based on human labor income. If labor income declines while capital gains rise, the tax base could shrink. Pressure on social security systems could increase. The report mentions hypothetical policy options such as the Transition Economy Act and the Shared AI Prosperity Act, suggesting taxes on AI compute or direct transfers. But in an era of political polarization, swift policy response may not be easy. The signals for India are also serious. India's IT services export model has long been based on coding, support, and back-office solutions for global corporations. If agentic AI directly replaces these services, export revenues could come under pressure. The current account deficit could widen. The rupee could face pressure. The job landscape for millions of skilled professionals could change. While this is not a certain future, but a possible scenario, the signals are significant. The world has seen technological revolutions before. The Industrial Revolution replaced manual labor with machines. Computers replaced clerical jobs. But each time new jobs were also created. The question now is, will job creation in the AI revolution outpace job destruction? Or is this time different? Some economists believe AI will bring a productivity boom, create new industries, and make healthcare and education cheaper. But the report's concern is that the transition phase could be too fast and unbalanced. If high-skilled jobs decline suddenly, social stability could also be affected. Income inequality could rise. Political polarization could deepen. The cost of AI adoption is also falling rapidly. Cloud computing has become cheaper. Open source models are available. Hardware acceleration has reduced training and inference costs. This means AI is becoming democratized. But when the cost of automation becomes lower than human labor, the corporate decision becomes clear. This entire story is not just about technology, but about human identity. White-collar professionals always believed they were safe from automation. Degrees, skills, experience. These were their shields. But if AI can draft legal briefs, build financial models, and assist in medical diagnoses, the balance of skill premium could shift. The report repeatedly clarifies that this is not a certain future. It is a scenario analysis. But the purpose of scenario analysis is precisely to identify potential risks in advance. Before the 2008 crisis, several analysts warned of the housing bubble. Many called it hypothetical then as well. AI's growth is not linear. It is exponential. A step function jump means one day AI seems limited, and the next day it is far more capable than expected. It is this exponential curve that creates fear. Still, there is a hopeful side. If governments redirect education systems toward reskilling and upskilling in time, if serious discussions take place around experiments like universal basic income, if corporate governance prioritizes long-term stability, the impact can be balanced. Technology itself is not the problem. Its adoption pattern and policy response determine the outcome. Today, the world stands at a crossroads. One path leads to a productivity boom, where AI frees humans from repetitive work and pushes them toward creative work. The other path leads to economic dislocation, where growth appears in numbers, but opportunity shrinks for a large portion of society. The fear is that we may enter a ghost GDP economy, where numbers shine, but jobs disappear. The curiosity is whether 2028 will truly become the year of an intelligence crisis, or whether we will adapt our systems in time. In the end, the question is less about AI and more about us. Will we control technology, or will technology control us? The coming years will decide whether AI becomes a catalyst for the global economy or a crisis trigger. And that is the turning point from which the story moves forward.